weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science YouTube, comic book, comic channel, all of that, where I'm going to be going through this week's big milestone issue of Nightwing. It's Nightwing number 100, and at the beginning of every Nightwing review I do, I always feel the need to tell everybody that Dick Grayson and all iterations of him, he's my favorite character. I used to joke that I loved him because his superpower was being a nice guy. So I should love Tom Taylor's Nightwing run, right? Seriously, every issue is about stressing how perfect Dick Grayson is and how every other character will drop anything to come and help him out. But that's been my issue with this book since real early on in the run. And it is still my issue as I read through this milestone number 100. Now, before we jump into this, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable the notifications, and please let me know what you think of Nightwing number 100 and Tom Taylor's Nightwing run in general in the comments below. We'll do a quick little credits here. It's written by Tom Taylor. Oh my. And a boatload of artists, including regular series artist Bruno Redondo, who I do love. Now, listen, I'm not here to tell you that this book sucks and you should stop reading it. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you what I think of this and see how you think of it afterwards. But if you've loved every issue up until now, you'll continue to do so, since not much changes in this book month to month. Tom Taylor has, in my mind, become more of a PR agent for Dick Grayson than actually a writer. And a lot of people, though, are still eating it up. They love it. I understand why. He came on, and I mean Tom Taylor came on to fix the debacle of the Rick Grayson era. I actually gave the first Tom Taylor issue my first 10 out of 10 perfect score since 2016. I was ready for a change big time as well. It felt like a rebirth for Nightwing through and through. And after the demise of the actual rebirth and being told how much Dan DiDio hated Nightwing, the rest of the Titans over and over, it was a breath of fresh air to see a writer celebrate a character rather than deconstruct them. It looked like Tom Taylor had a winning formula to kick off a series, and I couldn't wait to see what he would do next. I remember that by about the third issue of the run, though, I started talking on our podcast that I was worried this run was more fan service than story. I also remember being told that I was a jerk and insane for saying that. Here I am at issue 100. I think my skills as a soothsayer and possibly Leo sayer should be acknowledged fully. So what happens in this issue, and is it any good? Well, I'm going to tell you again, if you love the run up until this point, I think you'll love this issue. If you haven't, this issue does have some really good moments still. I think there's a lot of things that people can enjoy from this issue. The scenes with Dick and Bruce, very emotional. They got me choked up and felt like they were earned with everything that's happened to and between them the last couple of years. And while I like seeing the Titans, another wow moment, them showing up kind of brings up a big flaw of Tom Taylor's run. Dick Grayson rarely, if ever, solves a problem on his own. I understand that it's because everyone wants to help him, as I said earlier, but you got to let the guy do some things on his own in his own book at some point. Now, also, if you're tired of Tom Taylor's social and political messages, you'll likely roll your eyes throughout this issue. Nightwing and Taylor take a page from Zdarsky's current Daredevil run, and they rail against police and prison corruption. I don't mind when politics and social issues are dealt with in comics. Defenders of that sort of thing will tell you they've always been in comics, and that is true. But the issue I have here is that Tom Taylor in general doesn't really deal with them. He throws them out there, and they feel like signaling fan service moments that don't really get resolved by the end and are suddenly dropped when Taylor wants to rail on the next thing that pops up on Twitter. If you don't believe me, just take, for instance, earlier in the run, Nightwing discovers a tent city of homeless kids, uses his money to build, quote, Haven, a place where people can hang out and get a hot dog. It's like a street festival every day for the people of Bloodhaven, which sounds cool, right? I don't know. Did it solve the obvious problem that there were way too many homeless children without families in Bloodhaven? No, it didn't. You know why? Because a lot of those kids are homeless because of Heartless, the heart-stealing serial killer that Dick Grayson keeps putting on the back burner or forgetting about entirely. Now, at least Heartless is in this issue, but after he frees all these criminals in prison, he breaks them out of the prison, gives them masks, tells them to burn down the blood. Nightwing shows up to tell these prisoners, listen, you're better than that, and I'm here to help, and you should use your hands for helping and not for hurting, because you know what? Nightwing knows the prison system doesn't work and is corrupt. Now, a bunch of these guys throw down these masks and they join in. The ones that don't agree, like Elephant Man, KG Beast, they're just taken down by the Titans when they keep showing up to solve all of Dick Grayson's problems. And then at the end, Heartless gets away, but yet everybody's all smiles and high fives. And by the end of this is what I'm talking about, the surface level of this fan service signaling moments. Did they round up the rest of the prisoners? And where are they going to put them? Where are these prisoners going now? Because the big thing in this is that Nightwing, he is going to buy the now torn down, broken up prison and convert it into a new Titans Tower. Really? After going on and on about prisons, Dick Grayson doesn't actually end this by funding a better prison and, get some people to oversee things. Yeah, at one point, Melinda says, I'll look into some of these things and I'll try to pay. We know that the red tape and all that involved, she's doing nothing. She gets in her limo and goes off. So what is going on? He's going to build a new HQ, a new Titans Tower that really, it made me laugh because it's always been like 1,000 times bigger than that small group of Titans actually need. And, maybe those prisoners are just set free now because everybody in prison is a good person, is what he's telling us. It's nonsense. It just gets thrown to the side. It was used as a prop. And then when it's done, when all the signaling and, oh, my God, Dick Grayson's so great, it gets pushed away. And just to say something, too, really in this book, Dick Grayson getting the billions of dollars from Alfred, he's just throwing money at every problem that comes his way. Either the problem gets solved by his friends or he throws money at it, something that it seems like Tom Taylor has been kind of railing against in the book anyway. The idea of these rich people, they think they can do anything with their money. But that's all Dick Grayson does. He throws money at people. Also, I just want to mention as well, it's kind of like a backdoor shade. You end up having Dick Grayson inherit this billions of dollars from Alfred and then starts helping people with it as if Alfred never did that because he was just sitting on his pile of cash. Oh, Alfred. Oh, man. But the issue ends then with Wonder Woman and Superman showing up to tell Dick Grayson how great he is. I mean, actually ignoring the fact that there was just a huge prison riot and escape orchestrated by the serial killer that Dick Grayson has never done anything about and continues to not do anything about because he's free. But they tell Dick Grayson he's done wonders for Bloodhaven and his team needs to replace the Justice League. And that's something, the Titans being kind of the new Justice League, that is something that fans have wanted for a long time. Why does it feel so hollow, at least to me here? It seems the timing is just all wrong. It doesn't feel right in universe. And instead just feels like an editorial decision. The idea that the Justice League, after all these problems, just says, we don't feel like doing this anymore. It's not right anymore. No. Make things better. And this is the thing I'm talking about with Tom Taylor in general. He wants to throw a problem out there, but instead of making it better, you use that problem to prop up Dick Grayson, but never solve the problem. So the problem really here is the Justice League has to change up their ways, maybe. You got to do some more things. But instead, they're going to quit just so that Dick Grayson and the Titans can be propped up. And that's why I think it feels hollow, because I think that the Titans well-deserved, well-earned, if I think about for them to be the Justice League, here it doesn't feel like it's well-earned anymore. It feels odd. Now, there are a bunch of artists on the book, but everything looks pretty good overall. And I'm sure a lot of people will love this issue. And I'm sure the usual suspect shill reviewers, and if people know who I'm talking about, will try giving this one like a 20 out of 10. Is that possible? Can we change the system? Because they give out so many 10 out of 10s. We need to have something more. They kind of run into a brick wall, a dead end with their 10 out of 10s passing them out like candy. But after, getting issue after issue of fan service, wow moments up to this point, I need something more. I need something more than just the same to get excited. I'm still going to give this, it's weird, I'm between a 6.5 and a 7. I'm going to be positive because I did like some of the art and I did like the moments between Dick and Bruce. And the overall concept still ends up celebrating the character. I just need more story around that. At this point, Tom Taylor writing Nightwing feels like, one of your buddies telling you how great their new girlfriend or boyfriend is. I've had enough. I know you think they're great. I know you think they're perfect, but we might want to see some of the flaws because flaws to me are what actually gives the character their character. And we're not getting that just yet in this. And it's well along the line that we should have been. So I'm hoping that after this, we get more progression overall, because really the real villain in the series might as well be named Plotless, because we are not getting very far with any sort of plot since the beginning. But hey, that is that. I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks of this issue and the run in general. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and enable the notifications so you'll get all of the hot takes, all these hot takes over and over. But thanks, everybody, and I will talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.